In this video we're going to look at some of these little 5-inch black and white TVs. I think I already looked at this one, did a video on it, a GAF BWTV5, made in China, date code 3603. But I think these were the latest ones, seem to be the most common ones around, and I get a feeling they may be one of the lowest quality ones around. But I just picked up another one today, and which reminded me I've got an even older one that I've had here for quite a while. So I'll have a quick look at that, and they look like they're all different ones. So this one is a, what was it again, a Computech, which is not the brand I expected. I can't remember what Computech used to sell. Was it phones and maybe computer accessories or something? AC/DC operation allows the unit to be run from power mains, car battery, plugs in a cigarette lighter, or from 10 D-size batteries. 10? Wouldn't have thought you'd fit 10 D-size in there. Sure, they're not C-size or something. Anyway, we'll have a look. Home garage and family holidays, 5.5-inch screen, built-in telescopic antenna, headphone external antenna sockets, built-in battery compartment. Made in China, replacement 12-month guarantee. Again, no idea when this actually came out, but it's a 90s or early 2000s bedside TV, radio, garage or workshop. Yeah, well, they're black and white. They're not the nicest things, but I guess certainly back in the 80s they weren't so bad. Oh, there you go. Oh, Computech's actually a registered trademark of Kmart Australia. 800 Toorak Road, Taronga, Victoria. Oh, there you go. I didn't realise that was one of their brand names, but I do remember seeing Computech stuff around. There's our cigarette lighter thing. Probably shouldn't be left on the polystyrene foam because they all tend to eat into it. So if it's polystyrene, it's probably showing its age a little bit. Has anyone filled out the warranty? Probably not. Wish people would put the purchase date on. Makes my life a lot easier. So it's just got a few basic faulty materials for 12 months, but it's void if you tamper with it or damaged by improper use. If it's dead on arrival, take it to your nearest Kmart with a receipt for a replacement, which probably did happen a bit on with these sort of things. They tend to be very low quality and poorly built with poor quality control. No, I've actually got the adapter. Didn't know that was in there. I'm pretty sure that's not my one. So that's a bonus. Worth buying for that. I think I only paid $10 for this thing, if that. I've got some more information, volume control, how to operate the radio. So this one's got a radio. Did the other one have a radio? It even gives you the specifications. Pulls 800 milliamps at 13.5 volts. So it's the output of the adapter. So maybe the TV doesn't pull as much. That must be what it supplies. So we'll be getting there though. 1.5 kilos. Oh no, total weight, net weight. Or maybe that 2.9 kilos is when you stuff it full of batteries. 2.5-inch 8-ohm speaker at 0.2 watts. Broadcast stuff. Yeah, DC power. Wow, looks like it must have a pretty big battery hole in there somewhere. If it fits that many in there. And I did the other one. Oh yeah, the other one did have a radio on it. This one's quite a bit different looking to that. This really does look cheap. Actually looks cheaper than the other one. And I thought they were like the cheapest ones. So very poorly finished white plastic. Looks kind of raw, like it was never coated like it should have been. Or at least they painted the other one. The usual DC 12 volt, positive tip, vertical hold, brightness and contrast, all sitting on weird angles. It's a SFTV-552 by Kenmark Industrial A.Co. Proprietary Limited. Wow, San Fang. That is a big battery compartment for one of these little things. I think most of them ran on C cells, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's have a look at that other one maybe and see. No pun intended. I guess they wouldn't run a long time on smaller batteries, but yeah, this is 10 C cells. Pretty sure the little rovers and stuff usually were C cells, because They weigh less and they take up less room, but of course this will eat them up pretty quick. And that's just me getting some moisture on there. Band, radio off TV. A lot of these never had much use. Let's see if we can find a plug for it and hook it up to the bench power supply. Oh, there's already a plug on the bench power supply, as there often is. And positive tip. We're on 12 volts, or around 13, which is what it should be. Oh. And they're busy shorting out themselves out a bit. That's the radio. Which doesn't seem to pick up anything. How do we switch bands? FM or... oh, it was in... I don't know, two of them are AM, one's FM. Oh, there's someone. Not very good. That's full volume just about too. Oh, let's try FM. Definitely a fifth of a watt at max. Where is the speaker in this? Oh, it's in there, I think, but it sounds absolutely... oh no, it's not in there. I say, it sounds terrible. It sounds like it's coming from underneath. Oh, I think it's actually moved. The speaker's not... it sounds horrible. Oh, it is. That's the end. You've got a loose speaker in there, so I better not run it like that. Maybe someone dropped it. I was going to say that is one of the worst sounding little TV I've heard. Looks like the front comes off this thing. Bit of a worry. I wonder if the whole tube and everything comes out of it. Is it even going to come apart easily? Yeah, what a weird design. Something's got to be super careful you don't damage the tube or anything, because they tend to drop down in there and could have wires hooked around them or anything. Know what these things are like. Do we need to prise it somewhere? Just double check there's no screws I'm missing. Doesn't seem to be. Sometimes you've got to tilt them a bit to get the clips on the top to pop. Has it got? It's bound to have something there, but I don't really want to damage it and mark it, but they don't give you much choice half the time. I can see a little gap opening there, so there we go. Yeah, two clips on the top. I assume the gut slides out of it. Yeah, the controls are coming, so the board probably has slots or something. There's our speaker. And a few wires. Oh, they've kindly provided a connector, though they've glued it. So does that just slot in? It was slotted in the usual hot melt glue. Very quality looking set. Chips I've never heard of. CD5151. Some brand you never heard of. Some Chinese tube. 14SX8Y4. Ooh, oh, that's the power supply. I'm sure now I wonder what was making a weird noise. So yeah, very low quality looking thing like most of them. It's got a saw filter, little electronic tuner, something written on the board but not much you can really read. TC 1429 Rev 96. Could be a 96 model, wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere around that time. Now what we need to do is maybe, how can I disconnect that? Of course they put hot melt glue on it, like they always do. Don't know that I can really show this because we're going to have to slot that in. Might get rid of that hot melt. Yes, there is a slot for upper and lower speaker, but it doesn't hold in very well. If you push it in tight, I might even just, since I've got something here, use a bit of silicone so it can be prized off again if need be. Maybe put a little bit on the edge. I don't know if that'll work, or we'll put it on after it's in place. Because most of that will probably slide off and I put it down there. It might just work. Put it in far enough that it jams in, although the silicone's made it kind of slippery now. These things always seem to have something wrong with them that you've got to fix. Even if it's a simple mechanical issue like that. Yeah, a bit of silicone should prevent it from falling out of its slot. And yeah, the board does have to go in such a way that we don't catch all these cables, although that cable, how does that work? Does it go under it? Does it? That must go, yeah, it must go under the board as it goes along. One of the battery cables we can't avoid. Now the speaker's in its way. Let's push it around that speaker wire. And we're going to slide along until we get into these slots. Ooh, I don't like the feel of that. Oh yeah, it feels like we're in the slots. Oh, here we go, it's just a bit of friction there, and of course that one wire that I was worried about is right where the antenna socket is. Now that's, I can see it through the hole for that, but I don't think that matters. Can we clip it back together with that there? It's a little reluctant. That's not a good sign. Okay, it's not going quite on because the power socket's not right. At least I know what that was, and that's it, I think. So yeah, not much fun to work on. There's always seems to be issues with wires going to the back panel and stuff. Hopefully that speaker's still in place. I think so. Probably should have let it set really before even fiddling with it. Oh, let's try again, see if we can get the TV running. So in TV mode. And picking up a little bit of rubbish there or something. And it goes away when you do the tuning, or some of it does. That's phones, that's the external antenna. Shut that up. Where's my pattern generator gone? Okay, what band are we on? VL. Oh, we're right at one end, that might help. There we go, monochrome image. And Let's give it full contrast. That's better. Another grayscale. Looks more like a grayscale. So that's it. One cheap little Computech SFTV 552. So it did the job if you just wanted a little bit of entertainment somewhere. Keep an eye on a TV show, keep an eye on the cricket or something. Listen to what's going on. I think there's also like a Uniden or something system. They used to make closed circuit TV systems with this, or even baby monitors and stuff with this sort of small tube on it, which are good enough for just keeping a little bit of an eye on things. Often you only wanted to see, like, was there a person in the frame or something, not with a, you know, any sort of detail. You just wanted an image to get a general overview. So if you didn't want real detailed stuff, it was fine. Obviously, if you really wanted to watch detailed shows or something, not much good. But even then, it's surprising how usable they are. Let's face it, people use smaller screens these days for a lot of stuff, so we used to think these were kind of pathetically small, but it's still bigger than most mobile phone screens. Let's see what the geometry's like, I guess. Now we're a bit washed out here, not great. Not great at all. It's tilted, it's wider this side, so lack of linearity, and it's not only tilted, it looks like it's the upright lines are actually right, but only the vertical's tilted. It looks, because these look more like parallelograms. Don't think I've ever seen that before. And they're bending the other way that way, possibly. Wow. So I guess that's a bit of trapezoidal distortion. Yeah, that thing's really bad. Not surprising on one of these. I don't think they put much effort into winding their yokes, and all the rest would have just been made cheap and cheerful. And they were only like a $99 special. But anyway, that's that little Computech one. We'll dig out this other one I got. Okay, and this is the other one. That was another $10 special. I couldn't really say no for $10. And there's some ridiculous prices on this sort of stuff on eBay, but yeah, $10 is about all they're worth. People are asking far more than what they cost new. But yeah, unless you want a little black and white TV, really not worth it. That one's got a bit of a scratch on the screen. And I think these are quite a common shape as well. These ones with these kind of wing fake grill things on the side. But I did have another look on eBay and I couldn't see any of these for sale. I had a feeling these were one of the most common ones as well, of the later era. Maybe early 2000s or something, late 90s, not sure when they came out. I must have a look for it when I edit to see if they're in the Dick Smith catalogue or something. I get a feeling Dick Smith or Tandy may have sold one of the millions of different brands they had on it. This one, I don't even see a brand on it. Oh, there you go, manufactured December 2002. So they tell us, the BW553. I still am looking for a brand. What have I missed? Does it have a brand? It's missing the battery cover, unfortunately, but then again, who really cares? Okay, so this is a brandless. Maybe some of these were brandless. Oh, we've got AV inputs. Oh, that's kind of a good feature, because most of these didn't have AV inputs. And of course, people sometimes wanted you to try and convert them to AV inputs so they could use them for little video monitors like on closed circuit TV or something, even though it's probably easier just to put a RF modulator on them. Convert it the other way. So that must be our TV AV switch. Can just read it. Positive tip again. DC 12 volt external antenna. Oh, I must nick the adapter off that other one. What are some? Oh, that's the battery cable. Has been cable tied on. Someone actually didn't lose it. Amazing. Or the car battery adapter, I should say. I guess it probably would have been easier just to hook the power supply. Usually that's positive. I guess we should double check, but I don't think I've ever seen one that isn't, because the car chassis, I don't think we'll bother. But I can just clip onto that. Is an easy thing to plug onto. Oh, I did leave the adapter off, that's alright, so the antenna adapter off the other one's still attached to the pattern generator. If we hook onto there, and yes, we've got a radio as well. Turn the volume down. FM, AM. Let's plug the antenna in. Where is it? Oh, power just came off. That's the only problem with these things, they don't hang on very well. Now the earth one came off too. And we're on VL. Oh, something just came up. There it is. Geometry is almost identical to the other one. Narrow on that side, wide on that side, and a bit bendy. Oh yeah, it's actually got vertical non-linearity as well. Those boxes are bigger than those boxes. So yeah, top quality, as you can see. I can hear something already on the radio. Not very good reception again. Oh. That's picking up the pattern generator, I think. Oh. Oh, what? How come I'm picking up the pattern generator on supposedly FM? That's how much crosstalk there is. Oh, that's just useless, isn't it? Turn the pattern generator off. Not going to win any awards for hi-fi, it's just a tinny little speaker. Same as the other ones. I guess we'll check the AV input works maybe. Or at least the V part of it. Where is it? There. Pattern generator back on. Seems a bit washed out on that. Vertical hold, brightness. Where's our contrast? Of course, these controls are so jammed in there you need a screwdriver to get to them. Let's go, oh yeah, much better with a lot more contrast. And we're a bit less brightness. Oh, that's adjusting the contrast, what? Oh, it looks like it's adjusting the contrast anyway. So the brightness and contrast, I've turned up the contrast there, but the brightness seems to do something similar. That's not brightness. It kind of is, but it's acting more like a contrast. I can see the picture blooming a bit, so it's changing size. And yeah, virtually impossible to get your fingers in there to do anything. That's the contrast. So it is definitely contrast, I think, but yeah, pretty low quality set, I think. Oh, we've got it on AV, so at least you can get a slightly better picture quality out of it. Can't complain at all, really. It's quite a good contrast on the tube. Probably hasn't had a lot of hours use. Yeah, that's pretty blurry there, to be honest. Oh my god, yeah, the focus is a mile out on this thing. And it's gone really bright on there, but I think that's partly the pattern generator. Do I want to dare take this thing apart? Not particularly, but maybe we should have a quick look inside and see what lovely quality this thing is. And see if we can get that focus better, because that is pretty rubbish right there. Though admittedly on the crosshatch pattern it didn't look too bad, but that's not a very good test of focus, so usually you can pick it that it's out. But we may have that the focus is poorly regulated along with the EHT with that blooming, so you might get focus varying on different pitches. Doesn't normally happen, but anything's possible on this sort of stuff. because they are kind of the bare minimum to get them working. I think there's a couple of looks like clips there you've got to press on. Should be getting somewhere. So a bit of a shorter tube in this one, I think. So antenna wire set on top. We've got a fuse. Serviceman warning. X-ray radiation protection. Contains critical components to X-ray emissions. Just the usual warnings I've got to put on there. So 14 SXSY tube. B/W CRT QTC or something. It's got another one of those CD5151 chips in there. So they must have been a Chinese version of a single chip. I think it was a TDA something. It wasn't a 5151, was it? I can't remember what the number was. Oh, how did that get out of there? Oh, because that's tilted up. Oh, see, we've got a cord going across the tube. And we have a focus control on this thing. That's the next issue. It may not have one. Oh, see, there's always something hooking around that tube. Does the speaker unplug? Sometimes you've got to slide them out. I don't think this has actually got a focus adjustment necessarily. Sometimes there's a pot somewhere. None of them seem to be labelled. It's probably just too bad you're stuck with whatever it does, unless you can find a manual for this thing. I don't really want to go tweaking random pots. I've got no idea which one of these cables is the focus. Probably that one over there, which goes to probably directly to the line output. There's one pot there, no, I don't know. I thought there might have been something obvious to adjust it, but a lot of these I don't think did have anything now that I think of it. So it looks like you're stuck with your out of focus picture. Oh well, worth a quick look inside, sort of. And I've got to get this tuning knob back on. Where did I put it? It just sort of sits in there, slots into there. Does that just go together like that? Just going to make sure the circuit board's through there. I think that's it. Seems a little dodgy somewhere. Ooh. That's it. Yeah, not a very quality fit to the case. That's a shame. Can't do much to fix that one unless you start modifying things and fitting your own focus control in there somewhere, which is not impossible to do, or some fixed resistors or something to alter the voltage a bit. Actually forgot this one came with a power pack, so I'll put that to one side. Let's see if it actually runs it. 13.5 at 800 milliamps like it said in the manual. I had something happen. So that's kind of a useful power pack potentially. A little bit higher than the usual 12 volt one. But yeah, I might have to do something about put that in a bag or something so it's not on that polystyrene starting to eat into it. As you can see, it they chemically react or whatever and stick to each other. So it might be a good chance to box or bag that up or get rid of that box altogether. I guess I don't really need the box. So yeah, not very good looking. Kind of looks high, like it's the interference and stuff there. Looks like it's focused does not like that image. That's certainly not real good. Possibly adjusting the brightness and stuff will affect that. There you can actually see the fine sort of patterning, so I would have thought if it was out of focus that wouldn't show up. Those almost little circles with a dot in the middle. It's not one thing that's worth checking. Oh, we're on AV, so it's not the tuning. Yeah, pretty low quality. But again, these were not meant to be high quality pictures, more just something to do the job. But I'm kind of glad I got one from my collection, since I didn't have this style before. So I was going to grab it anyway. It's not like I'm ever likely to really use it though, other than maybe for a display purpose where you see it from a distance switched on. And yeah, shame it doesn't have the battery cover, because you could probably shove the cord in there if it did. And scratches on top, so someone's actually used this one a bit. Possibly not with the antenna though. That doesn't actually clip under there, it just butts there, so they didn't even bother with the clip there. I guess it don't get broken off anyway. Such a quality unit, they didn't put a brand on it. They may be looking up this model number, but they may well all be called that model number, and then each seller just put their brand name on it. It may have had a brand on the box, I guess. That's probably all they did, just put it on the box, and then you throw the box away and you don't know what it was. But anyway, that's those two, or three I guess technically. So yeah, not the greatest piece of electronics. I'd much prefer one of the older, I used to have one of the old sharp red coloured ones. Were quite nicely built. And there was the weird things like some of those old JVC pyramid TVs and space helmet ones. I was actually given one of those pyramid ones, which I think was in pieces. Someone had tried to fix it. And I had a quick look at it, it wasn't anything obvious, so I threw it on the dump. And they're probably worth here $500-600 now or something. But at the time, it really wasn't worth anything. Couldn't have sold it for $10-20 going, I don't think, at the time. Especially because it was a kind of weird shape and weird fold-out design. And yeah, the little red sharp one I kept for years. I was going to do that up one day. I can't remember if it worked or not, but I was sort of going to keep that as a collectible. But I think when I shut my shop down, it probably got thrown on the tip or something. Decided I didn't want it anymore. And I do have a couple of those 3-in-1s with the Monochrome TV and a cassette player and a radio, and they're quite horrible things to work on. I've actually got one in pieces, and the tube's sitting right here for whatever reason. So that's how much longer. This is our one of JVC 80s models, so the tube's quite a bit longer. It's a Clinton 5V-AEP4, so made in Taiwan. Standard sort of numbering system back then. Should be about the same screen size. And I actually pulled that apart to look at the tension mech in it, and I'm not sure I'm ever going to put that back together. I'm almost tempted to throw it away rather than fix it, but I do have also a Rank Arena version, so I'll have to have a look at that sometime. And there is a colour version of one of those things which isn't really in the same category as these. But that's these little things, and yeah, if I'll put in the video, if I can find it in any catalogues or anything. I'm sure I've seen these in Dick Smith or Tandy or somewhere, even though Dick Smith and Tandy were just about becoming one at that point, so maybe both had the same stock. And this and that other taller one, the curvy cabinet one that I showed first, seem to be the common ones. I don't think I've ever seen that Computech type before. There used to be a few Rovers, Cambrooks. Trying to think what other brands they came out in, but I think Cambrook were one of the common ones. Rover, there was the Rover, I think, was also rebadged as Princess, a reasonably common one. There was a few of them around back in the day, possibly some of the even smaller screens. And yeah, a lot cheaper than the colour ones, were super expensive. So you didn't see a lot of them around. But anyway, that's all we'll do with these ones for now, so thanks for watching.